In a world full of conventional Hollywood cliches and recurring lackluster sequels, one critic has seen it all, who can provide you with all the movie news, opinions, and reviews that could very well save humanity as we know it. This is Libby's Movie Hunt. And now, your host, Libby Hunt.
Hey there, welcome to Libby's Movie Hunt. I'm your host, Libby Hunt, along with Kevin E.
Hey, Libby, how you doing?
Good morning.
It's weird being on this side of the audio console for once.
This is our new setup, guys. We are at On Air Dallas, and this will be our new home. So for now, you can still find us on Facebook, YouTube, iTunes.
All the usuals.
All the usuals, but we'll be here every week Friday. We're not sure, Fridays.
We might be switching time slots.
Yes.
We haven't really ironed all that out yet.
But you'll find us on Fridays, because that's a great day to know what go to see for the weekend.
That's when everyone's trying to decide what they're watching over the weekend, be it at the theater or at home.
I know. And I have to sometimes slide in seeing a movie on Thursday, so we have to film Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
It's important.
I frequently will go to the Thursday evening showings for the big movies. I did that with for Spider-Man.
What'd you do? Did you see it last night?
Yeah.
Or last week? Yeah, I saw it.
I've been behind a little. I've got a little lazy in the summer. I haven't seen as much opening day as I usually do.
I know. I'm okay. So summer movies. I'm very disappointed in the summer movies so far.
I am too.
I mean, they're just kind of, as we'd say, lackluster.
Yes.
There just aren't that many good movies. What is happening?
I would say the only thing I've really liked so far it was Alien Covenant, as far as summer flicks go.
Was that in the summer?
I think that was on the. I think you're right. I think it was spring.
But the first movie we're going to talk about is Baby Driver.
Yes.
Now, this is the first movie I've been excited about all summer. I'm trying to think if people are like, "What is good?" I'm like, I see 3 movies a week. Let me get my calendar out. But do you want to tell? Okay, it got 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is fantastic.
Very good.
I saw it the minute it opened. But the previews for it, I was like, Baby Driver? Is it a cartoon with the baby in the title?
The name is very
deceiving.
Yes.
But not
very appealing.
You want to tell them kind of what it's about?
Sure. So basically, he is a getaway driver for heists, but he has tinnitus, like a ringing in the ears thing. So he's constantly listening to music and also recording his own voice and thoughts and conversations and things like that. And then he works for Kevin Spacey, who's the big boss, named Doc. And then he has a love interest at the diner. Mm-hmm. But pretty much you just have this little world. He lives with his foster father, who is deaf.
And his love interest is Lily James.
Yes, from Cinderella.
Cinderella and Downton Abbey. And she's darling. She plays Deborah.
Yes, it's a very peculiar setup. One thing you have to know going into this movie is it doesn't feel like an average Edgar Wright film. It doesn't have quite the lighthearted comedy as the others. It's a little bit more of a serious, violent, somber outing, which is cool, I think.
When the director had done Shaun of the Dead, which I didn't know, which you and I love.
Yep, love that movie.
Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. Yes, so this kind of doesn't really match up to his other films.
No, and it really is kind of a unique world that they create in here. How he has, the foster father, the diner situation, the tinnitus, and then he's also a getaway driver. It's like, how do these all connect? But basically, he's in debt to Kevin Spacey because of a vehicle he stole from him, and so he's kind of working that off through these heists that he organizes. However, it centers around this one heist. It's supposed to be the last one, but it's not. It's an armed car robbery that goes wrong, and so he ends up roped into one other one, and that's where they bring in the other characters. You have Jamie Foxx and John Hamm playing a character that I've never
John
seen
Hamm
anything
played
like
Buddy,
before. Yep.
and Jamie Foxx plays Bats.
Bats.
He was great, and I really think and then the girl is Eliza Gonzalez. She was in Jim and the Holograms. And
I'm not sure. She's very easy to look at, but I wasn't familiar with her.
I thought they could have picked somebody, more of a movie star.
Yeah.
For that character. It was John Hamm's love interest.
She does not stand out as any kind of dynamic character, so that's for sure.
But John Hamm, wow, I thought he
was great.
Right. I thought this is one of his best roles, I think.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey, I believe, was a little underutilized.
Well, it kind of just seems like Kevin Spacey being Kevin Spacey.
I wanted him to be a little more evil.
Yeah.
And he kind of there's a little twist at the end.
There is. He's not quite who you think, but we're not going to give anything away.
Right, exactly. But someone said, and I totally agree, that it is the best 10 minutes in a movie ever made, maybe. I think it's up there. The opening sequence with
Very
the
good.
music and the
soundtrack, by the way, is absolutely outstanding.
I know. It's just the first 10 minutes, I was just like mesmerized.
Yep. It was a very similar, very different kind of scene, but a very similar feeling to when I saw Drive with Ryan Gosling. Mm-hmm. That opening sequence was so great, except the problem with Drive is you get so roped into that world, and that scene was so mesmerizing, like you said about Baby Driver, that you just can't wait to see more of it. And there really isn't much more of it.
There's not much more
Where
of
with
that,
Baby Driver, you actually get several more good chases, and you get that, that adrenaline type feeling from the action. So that they deliver more than Drive did.
Well, my movie nerds that I follow on Instagram and Facebook, there's a whole world of people that have Instagram accounts about movies, and we talk about movies. I guess they're like forums, I guess, and a lot of them like Drive better with Ryan Gosling.
I would say overall, I do prefer
You do?
Drive.
Probably because you're a guy.
It's just one of my favorite movies. It's just a really cool movie.
I like this one better.
Baby Driver is much more fun, that's for sure.
Well,
but it still packs plenty of violence, don't get me wrong.
Very violent, which surprised me.
Yeah, me too.
As my dad's like, I like those movies with a high body count, and it has a very high body count.
It does, and lots of bad language. You kind of forget almost, though, that Edgar Wright does have somewhat of a history of this kind of adult content. Mm-hmm. You almost forget that there's a lot of really grisly killings and hot fuzz because they do it in a comedic way, so you almost don't notice. And then Shaun of the Dead has tons of foul language, but you don't really notice because it's so natural in a sense.
True.
It's not crude and over the top. And it's kind of the same thing here, but I would say of all the violence he's done so far, this is probably the most gratuitous.
Oh, definitely. It just didn't seem like his movie. I was surprised to see he was the director. But what do you give it? We didn't even say who Baby Driver is.
Oh, that's right.
And my girls told me to say it right. Ansel Elgort.
And I'm glad you said it because I don't know.
And he was in Fault in Our Stars. He was the star of that. And he was in the Divergent series. And he is he's a movie star now.
Absolutely.
If he wasn't before, he is a full-blown movie star. Like, he's the it guy out there right now.
Do you know how old he is?
He looks like he's like 22, but I bet
he could have that Tobey Maguire thing where he's like 30, but he looks 20.
19 to 30. He's somewhere in there. I bet he's 24, something like that. But he is a full-blown movie star.
Definitely.
I was like, I could not keep my eyes off that kid. He just had that, and it's so funny because he's kind of understated his tone and his talk, but
definitely.
It was almost to me an Oscar-worthy performance.
And I was honestly expecting a much darker ending than we got.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't want to give it away, but it was just a very well-rounded story. I thought it was executed extremely well. I'm going to go ahead and say that this film is Oscar-worthy.
I think it is. I'd say very highly popcorn-worthy to Oscar-worthy.
I don't know about acting accolades specifically. It was pretty good. The central character is very good. John Hamm is very good, but I don't know that those are Oscar-worthy roles.
I don't think anybody will be nominated, but that kid, he was unbelievable.
But with cinematography, absolutely. Screenplay, many of these, it's definitely...
And a good running time.
Deserve some nominations.
Because you and I are like, sometimes they're too long.
Incredibly taut pacing, though.
Yeah.
It flies by.
And I've seen it twice because my parents wanted to see it, and so I went with them on the 4th of July, my husband and I, and so I love seeing it again. So, that's always a good thing, a movie, if you want to see it 2 or 3 times.
That's the best sign.
Yeah, that's the best sign.
Now, I would definitely see it again.
Oh, I'm so glad you saw it. So I would say that's the best movie out this summer.
Absolutely.
So far.
And it's not your typical summer blockbuster type film. This is, an adult, almost, it's not an indie movie, but it kind of has that feel. It's that unique. But yeah, it's not your standard summer blockbuster.
What are the
blockbusters
this summer, though?
They've been so disappointing. Fast 8 was pretty good.
We liked that.
Or Fate of the Furious was good.
I like that a lot.
I did not like Pirates of the Caribbean. It was lame.
We're tired of them.
Transformers lame. I'm tired of those too.
I didn't even go. Didn't even go.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
And then you really liked Wonder Woman, and I thought it was kind of lame.
Loved it. Somebody was asking me what's been the best movie out in like the past couple months. Wonder Woman.
That's probably it. Yeah.
Literally, I've seen so many movies. It's all becoming a blur. I'm dreaming about movies.
Yeah.
Okay, the other movie that I saw that you didn't go see it, The Beguiled.
No. I'm not even overly familiar with this one.
Well, of course, I believe it was at Cannes or Sundance. I think it was at Cannes that it won some stuff. But I was, of course, obsessed with it. Sofia Coppola directed it, who I adore.
I'm a huge Sofia Coppola fan.
Love her.
Virgin Suicide is one of the first movies we watched in film school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, she's really good, and she's gotten to be a better and better director. I loved about Marie Antoinette. The film she did, it was just so beautifully done. But her muse is Kirsten Dunst, and she's, of course, in it again. But it's I had to look up what beguiled means, but it means to charm.
I'm doing
someone.
that right now.
It means to charm someone. I was pretty sure that's what it meant, but that's what's so interesting about it. It got 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is pretty accurate. But it's really a suspense thriller in the Civil War, and it's in the South, I believe, in Georgia, and Nicole Kidman is the star of it, and I'd say Kirsten Dunst. And Nicole Kidman runs a home for the young ladies, a school. And they call it where you have nuns are, but it's really not that. Not an abbey, but that's kind of what they call it. And they see a Civil War soldier hurt on the side of the road, but he's the enemy. He's the Union, and they're the
right
rebel.
South?
Yeah, the South. And so they take him in, this enemy soldier, for refuge. And then you've also got Elle Fanning. And then that cute girl, is it Una Lawrence? She was in Bad Moms and Southpaw. Oh,
yeah.
I think it's Una.
I think so. Yeah, Oona.
Yeah, but the man, the soldier they take in is played by Colin Farrell, who does such a great job. So,
I've never seen him deliver a bad performance.
I think this is one of his better performances. But they bring him in to heal him, and they're all like, "But he's an enemy. We need to send him back out. Hand him over as an enemy,
as a prisoner,
a prisoner." But he's so injured, they kind of feel sorry for him, and he starts beguiling all the women in the house, charming them one way or another, and they all kind of fall under his spell. And so these different things happen, and
it's almost like a reverse Stockholm syndrome type situation.
It's weird. Yes, he beguiles the girls in the house, and like at dinner, they're starting to dress up. But then this series of, you think it's going to go from the ad, you think it's going to go down this really dark. It is dark, but it looks worse in the ads than it is. What happens? But he ends up getting hurt, and it's a thriller. And it's a short runtime, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's hard. Not coming in just north of 90 minutes. It's a quick burn. It's perfect. But in fact, I need to see it again. I liked it so much. But does that sound good to you? Yeah, actually, it sounds much more. At first, I thought it sounded boring just because it was a period piece, and with Nicole Kidman, Sofia Coppola, a lot of times I'm like, this could definitely be boring. But from what you just described, it actually sounds much more thrilling than I was expecting. It is a thriller. Like, you just have to go see it. But I mean, on paper, The Virgin Suicides is a movie I would have looked at and been like, that doesn't sound like a cool movie at all. But yet, it's a fascinating movie. Mm-hmm. This is good. And I'm kind of shocked for a Sofia Coppola film that it doesn't have a higher Rotten Tomatoes rating. I know, but 78% is pretty good. 78 is pretty good. That's still certified fresh. Yes. I think that this, if they remember by next January or whenever Oscar noms are put in, I think it's Oscar worthy. I really do. It's beautifully, the cinematography is gorgeous. The acting's unreal. The whole cast, I mean, not a one of them gives a bad performance. Kirsten Dunst gives this amazing kind of understated performance. I don't know. It's just... And she's great. One who I just think overall works very well with that particular director. She does. It's almost like Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, they just work well together. Very simpatico. But it's just visually stunning. So I think you'd like it, Kevin, because you like kind of suspense movies. I love those kind of thrillers. Yeah. I mean, it's not... I think you'd want it to go scarier than it goes. Probably. Because I was even a little disappointed in that. It's not Don't Breathe type thriller. It's not quite there, but it's creepy. So I highly recommend it. All right, so we have 2 Oscar-worthy reviews for this week. Possibly. I know, isn't that crazy? It is crazy. Because there's a lot of bad movies out. Okay, your mom filled in for me a few weeks ago, and y'all talked about several movies, but I thought it was so funny. She absolutely did not like Beatrice at Dinner. She hated it, yeah. With Salma Hayek and John Lithgow. And I kind of liked it. Did she say? She didn't say she walked out, did she? No, but she really didn't like it. Yeah, she really didn't like it. Which is weird because you guys usually see eye to eye. She almost said she wanted to ask for her money back. Yeah, that's right. Now, I wondered because it definitely, the poster said the first movie of the Trump era. So, because it has such a liberal stance to it. Okay. Is that why she disliked it so much? I mean, I don't think she'd let that factor in too much, but it could have played in for sure. Because the fact that it's promoted that way. Oh, it's promoted that way on It's like poster. A Michael Moore film. Right. But because it's, she told you what it's about. You know, Beatrice is this animal lover, and this horrible John Lithgow is this, kills everything. Yes. And they have a dinner party, and she's this family's masseuse and comes in. But I thought it was kind of a fascinating story. The plot sounds very interesting. It's a dark, kind of a dark comedy in a way. Great acting. But, I mean, I don't know if I give it I give it kind of mildly popcorn worthy.
I would almost love to hear this debate, though. If sometime we could get both of you guys in here and just kind of each speak your your piece about what you thought about it.
Well, I love John Lithgow.
I do too.
And I thought Salma Hayek gave a great performance. She's just, I think she's an underrated actress, kind of like Ashley Judd.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she needs to be in more things. So I thought that was funny she hated it so much because I was like,
That's true.
I liked it.
You and I both particularly love John Lithgow as the Trinity Killer on Dexter season 4.
Best season of Dexter ever.
Best season.
He's such a great actor. And he played Winston Churchill in that PBS, well, I don't know if it's PBS.
I remember.
Queen Elizabeth.
Yep, that's right.
This year. So he's great. I hope he never goes away, these great actors.
I agree.
We love the good ones. But I don't really have any other movies to talk about.
How much time do we have left, Jansen? Oh, okay. I'm not sure either.
And we have Jansen as our producer over there.
Oh, okay, cool.
How many?
We still have 15 minutes left. So usually this is where I save my what's best to watch at home this time of year stuff for streaming right now. One thing, if you're not into the summer movies as much as, say, myself, and you want to... a different kind of vibe. Bad Santa 2 is now available on Netflix.
Oh.
Which I liked. You did not.
I was so grossed out by it.
So I was a little excited to see that on there because I'm going to be revisiting that for sure.
It's funny, but it's a gross fest.
It's very gross.
I mean, like Kathy Bates, it just says and does the grossest things. I'm just like, ugh.
It's a really foul movie. Yeah.
You're just like, how much money did they pay all them?
Yeah.
But my son was like, Mom, you've got to talk. Kevin's great about it. Tell people about what's streaming because now everybody is making their own television, as you and I have talked about now. They're piecemealing their TV with Roku and all these different streaming. And y'all can stream our show eventually.
And when I'm not at the
TV.
movies or going to a movie, I want to know. I want to be planning what I'm going to watch at home.
Right.
So it's nice to know what's out there that could be
There's
interesting.
such great TV. So what else are you loving?
Okay, so if you're an HBO Go user or HBO Now and you're into the summer movie scene and you think that this movie is kind of a suck this summer as we do, all of the old Batman movies are on there, which were great. I revisited Tim Burton's Batman and Batman Returns. I even watched Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever, and then Batman and Robin is on there for laughs if you want to watch that one too. But those are just really fun to watch.
What's your favorite Batman? Who is your favorite Batman?
Michael Keaton will
Me
always be my favorite Batman. Has to be. Because I grew up as a kid. That was like the Batman that I idolized.
He's my favorite.
And I'd always tell you he's just super cool. One thing that they do that's a little bit weird is Christopher Nolan was very specific about following the rules of the comics, how Batman doesn't use guns, he doesn't kill people, that kind of stuff. Where Tim Burton wasn't a big comic book guy. He's just a dark, creepy kind of director who they thought would be a good guy to direct Batman. So if you've watched Batman and Batman Returns, you'll notice a lot of people get killed.
Yeah.
At the end of the first one, he blows up the Axis Chemicals plant. You're like, I don't know how many people were in there, but he probably killed at least a couple bad guys. One guy gets thrown off the clock tower. One guy gets blown up.
Is that with Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to watch that one again. So I can find that on HBO.
HBO Go or HBO Now. Yeah, I mean, Batman definitely kills the Joker at the end, which is like the no-killing rule does not apply to Michael Keaton's Batman. Just one of the things that makes him cooler.
I love it.
So also, if you are trying to get caught up on some TV shows on October, so in the fall, you'll have season 2 of Stranger Things.
Yes.
This summer is a great time to get caught up on the previous season. All 8 episodes are currently streaming on Netflix. And then something that I had a ton of enjoyment out of, I know it's not for everybody, but they have Jackass the Movie 1 and 2 now on Netflix.
I'm sorry, I love those.
I watched them both back to back the other
I'm too old to think those are funny.
They're great.
They're great.
It's just pure entertainment. You don't have to follow anything. It's all just bits. It's very gross, but they're hilarious.
I let my son, like in 6th grade, see that first one. I think that was a bad parent move, probably.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, because I look back, those are my fondest memories. The most I've ever laughed in a movie theater ever for any movies are the Jackass films, the first 3.
They're funny.
So, yeah, for Jackass 1 and 2 are on Netflix. Also, Jackass 3.5, which is stuff that they didn't use in 3 that you can kind of watch, which is pretty entertaining.
Those movies scare me, though. I'm like, they're going to hurt themselves.
How are they all still alive?
I know.
Well, one of them isn't, but still.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the movies.
I know, exactly.
But, yeah, I can't get enough of those. I'm trying to think of just anything else.
There's a show that I loved, of course. It was a serial killer, creepy show, Hannibal, with
Hannibal was great.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yes.
And my son said I could find it on Amazon Prime or one of those. So I need to sign up for Amazon.
Yes.
But they only did a couple of seasons.
I don't have Amazon. I keep track of what's on there just because they post them all on.
Well, because it was on ABC or NBC or one of those, and it didn't get renewed after several seasons. So I need to find it because I really liked that.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying Netflix. But there's so many ways to watch different. Really, the only one I watch are Netflix. But
Netflix and HBO Go are pretty much my only ones. I know a ton of people are using Hulu. I just haven't been able to commit to it yet. So Sling, Netflix, and HBO are my primary streaming platforms.
Well, some of the young people told me Hulu wasn't as good.
I haven't seen enough incentive to make me want to pay for it.
So you do not have cable on your TV now?
Correct.
Do you, Jansen?
No.
No TV? No
Nobody
cable?
does.
Gosh, I know. Well, I still have to be able to turn my TV on and see Fox News.
Okay, you can still do that from Sling.
Really?
Yeah.
Sling.
It works really well.
Oh, I don't know. It seems confusing.
I don't know if, one thing before we go, movie news, I don't know if you heard. I heard it from two sources. I'm hoping it's true.
What?
But it's supposedly confirmed that Daniel Craig will return for one more James Bond film.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
And I was just, because I'm like, we really can't, I'm not in the mood to start over again yet.
Well,
I'm not done with this Bond yet.
I'm not done with it. And he's one of my favorite, surprisingly,
Me too.
because he's blonde.
Yeah.
He's just so darn cute.
Yeah. And he is a
You even
completely
agree,
different
and
kind
you're a guy.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a total man crush on Daniel Craig,
he's-
definitely.
Who's the other? He doesn't remind me, but of that one, of course, I can't say his name. Strathan. Oh, I said it.
Oh,
Jason
Statham? Wait,
Statham.
Jason Statham.
Statham.
There you go.
I love him,
But
too.
he's bald.
But what is that? He's so good looking bald.
Yeah,
He's
that's
a
true. He
good
can pull
bald.
off the bald.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig would not look good bald.
No, but he's a little balding, isn't he?
He's maybe he's got thin hair for sure, but he's getting a little long in the tooth. So I would assume this has
Yeah.
to be his last
Yeah.
one. I mean, when he started, he was in his late 30s.
Yeah, he's got to do another one. So we think that's happening.
Yep, there's one more.
psyched.
And I know everybody gives him a bad rap, but I actually really enjoyed the Pierce Brosnan films as well.
I liked him.
I thought he was a good James Bond.
I love him. I love him in anything. So, that's fine. Well, I love the James Bond movies, and I understand them better. As a child, I was confused by them.
Me too. I didn't really know what was happening. It was just fun to watch.
You know, I went to Jamaica spring break, and the man who wrote the James Bond films, I'm blanking on his name right now.
Albert O. Broccoli.
Wrote the
No, Ian Fleming. I'm sorry.
Ian Fleming, the
Broccoli's
author
the
of the
producer.
books, has a house on Jamaica, and so we drove by. They're like, "That's where the guy who wrote the James Bond movies."
That's right. It's called something too. I want to say it's called like Goldeneye.
And yeah, and also Ralph Lauren has a house real near. Isn't that funny that they picked Jamaica?
Well, I don't know. Why Jamaica?
But I don't know, because he got inspired there to write those. So that's a little bit of trivia.
Well, Dr. No, the very first James Bond film, a big chunk of it takes place in Jamaica.
Well, there you go. That's why. Have you been to Jamaica?
No.
Honeymoon someday?
Yeah, maybe.
So I guess we're about to wrap up
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
today's show. But guys, you can tune in every week to Libby's Movie Hunt on Friday and get all your film and entertainment news, mostly movie news.
You can watch us on YouTube, and then if you're just listening in the car or something, check us out on iTunes. And you can also find us at libbysmoviehunt.com and on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. Go enjoy the movies.